Welcome to my official first and last mock draft for the 2025 draft. I'm excited for this one, man. I'm not going to hold y'all by just rambling too long. Let's get straight into the number 1 overall pick. With the first overall pick in the 2025 NFL draft, the Tennessee Titans will be selecting a quarterback. But which quarterback, you say? They will be selecting Cam Ward. Hey man, shout out Will Levis and Mr. Mayo, but I'm pretty sure it's kind of obvious to, almost everybody. I think Cam Ward's kind of gotten a guarantee from the Titans, and, he's pretty good. I think he has the talent. He's got the arm strength for show, but he's going to need a lot of work this season. It is his rookie year, so I won't hold him to too much. And he's going to be playing on an interesting Titans team that doesn't have the greatest weapons in the world. The Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard, maybe Treylon Burks has a breakout season. Their defense was really good last year when it came to giving up points. But yeah, I think Cam Ward is going to be the number 1 overall pick for the Tennessee Titans. With the second overall pick in the NFL draft, the Cleveland Browns. Man, what an interesting team. Looking at their needs, they need the most important positions. QB, running back, wide receiver, tackle, and corner. Tackles are very important. Corners are very important. And then you have 3 offensive demons. And why not draft somebody that can play both of them? Travis Hunter, man, just got his number retired from Colorado. Was that warranted? He got the Heisman, so I'm not mad at it. Shedeur, on the other hand, I don't know, but hey, man, good for them. His dad's the coach. If my dad was the coach, I'd want him to do the same thing. So I ain't no hater. But with the second overall pick, the Cleveland Browns are going to select Travis freaking Hunter. Then that sets up a very interesting pick. The Wendy video? That sets up a very interesting pick when it comes to the New York Football Giants. Tyrone Tracy's done a pretty good job over there. I feel like this team, I feel like the second, third pick all have potential to trade. I'm not having any trades in this draft, but I think there's a very high potential that there could be a lot of trades on this day because they've said 1 through 35 picks are, all in the same wavelength, and it's just whoever develops better, man. They all have hidden dev for my Madden watchers out there. So I'm pretty excited for this draft because I feel like it's wide open and, whoever's going to go whoever. But I think the Giants, if they keep their third pick, they're going to take the best player available, and that is going to be Abdul Carter. I just seen today that he said, if he goes to the Giants, because he's a lifelong Philly fan. He's from Pennsylvania, went to Penn State. He's an Eagles fan. He was at the Eagles Super Bowl things and whatever. But yeah, he's going to have to go to a rival team. But I feel like that happens a lot. I feel like if I went to the NFL, I'd probably go to the Cowboys because y'all know I don't really like the Cowboys. But if that was my team, it would be Cowboys Nation, baby. That's just how it is. But with all the recent stuff about Shedeur just dropping, and then they signed Jameis and Russ, I'd be really surprised if they took quarterback right here. So I think the best pick for them is Abdul Carter. The New England Patriots have the 4th overall pick heading into the 2025 draft, and they had a pretty good offseason, man. They got Stephon Diggs. They signed a lot of defensive players. I remember Harold Landry. They signed other people. They still got Christian Gonzalez over there on defense. And I'm like, okay, they're signing a lot of defense. They signed, I think, Morgan Moses it was, at tackle or guard. I think he played for the Panthers. But I'm like, okay, they're signing a lot of people. I think most people are thinking, they probably go tackle right here in Will Campbell. But I'm going to be honest, man. Drake May, year 2, he came on at the end of last season. I think they take the risk and take one of the best prospects in the country in Ashton Jeanty at number 4. They take Jeanty with the 4th overall pick. And I think if this happens, man, looking at the Patriots, will it make the playoffs? I don't know, but 7 to 9 wins is very doable with the roster they're putting together, especially if Drake May develops the way we think he will. The Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock with the 5th overall pick. They just lost Evan Ingram. They've lost Christian Kirk. I think Gabe Davis is coming back. They need D-line, and I think they need offensive weapons for Trevor Lawrence to help him develop. But they drafted Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker has developed to be one of the better players, but they did miss on Aiden Hutchinson, unfortunately. And I think they're going to skip on a Michigan legend like Mason Graham again, and they're going to go offense, bro. To me and Steve Smith, I don't think Tet is the best wide receiver in this class, but I think Tetairoa McMillan is a very good wide receiver, and I think he fits alongside with Brian Thomas Jr. So I'll be saying that they're going to take Tet as the number 5 pick and send him to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I feel like I know a lot of Raiders fans, and I've heard a lot of different things. They want Will Johnson, they want Jeanty, they just want somebody good. Like, they want somebody good. And I'm going to be honest, they could go running back. They did just get Mostert in the offseason. Wide receiver might be crazy. I could really see the Raiders trade back from this pick, because I thought this would be where they would take Shedeur, but offseason they got Geno, just like the Giants getting Russ and Jameis Winston. So I'm thinking, like, okay, maybe the Raiders are going in a different direction. They're going to help out Max Crosby on the defensive line and take Mason Graham with the 6th overall pick. Remember, this is only if there's no trades, going on and whatnot. But yeah. The New York Jets just acquired Justin Fields in the offseason to be their quarterback, most likely going into this season. And right here, a lot of people, I think, have Tyler Warren going number 7 to the Jets, because I think Tyler Warren's a top 10 player in this draft class. But with that being said, I think that they're going to take an offensive lineman, and it's not going to be Will Campbell. I'm going to go ahead and take Armand Membou out of Missouri to go to the New York Jets as their new tackle. He can play all over that offensive line. I'm pretty sure he can play guard, if I'm not mistaken, but that's the direction I think the Jets are going to go in. I feel like the Panthers can go in any direction with this pick, and I wouldn't be surprised if they took anywhere from a wide receiver to a DB to a tackle, whatever. Like, I think the Panthers are, at this point of their team where they can take anything right here. But in my opinion, I think they go defense. I think they don't go D-line. I think they go ahead and get a linebacker in Jalon Walker. Did I spell his name wrong? Jalon Walker at number 8. Could be a stretch, but I think he's going to be a good pick up. He's one of them Georgia boys. Really wish my Eagles could get him or Michael Williams, but I doubt it. I think he's going to be the number 8 pick to the Carolina Panthers. Then we get to the Saints pick. The New Orleans Saints just had their Super Bowl where my Philadelphia Eagles won, but that's besides the point. Saints need a quarterback. And could they take a quarterback? I really think they could. They do have Spencer Rattler as a backup. Derek Carr, who knows? But I wouldn't be mad at this pick right here, and I think it's time. I think it's time for Shedeur. But hold on, hear me out. Before I put Shedeur in there, I will say that I did see a clip of Shedeur talking about the best receiving duos are going to be whoever's the quarterback of the Steelers with DK and Pickens. So if Shedeur does not get drafted by the Saints, I can see him falling to the Steelers, because the Steelers don't have a quarterback. I think they have Mason Rudolph and somebody else as their quarterbacks right now, which I'm not mad at. If he goes to the Saints or the Steelers, I think that'd be a good fit for him. I think the Steelers would be a better fit for him because he has experience and very talented wide receivers that he could throw the ball to. So I think that would be the perfect landing spot for him. But I would really be surprised if Shedeur drops outside the top 10, and I think the Saints are going to go ahead and take him. He's going to be wearing the same colors next season. That's all I'm saying. The Chicago Bears, the team that had the 1st overall pick last season, they're going to need help on that offensive line because Caleb Williams was running for his life last season. I think with DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Swift in the backfield, they're going to be a solid team, but they need to get one of the best players in the class, and that is Will Campbell. I think he's going to come in and play tackle for them and be very good. Could we also see somebody like Jeanty fall to the Bears? Yeah, Membou could still be there at this time. They could take a safety in Malaki Starks. It might be a stretch this early, even though I think he's probably one of the best DBs in this class. But I'm pretty confident in saying they're going to take Will Campbell. 49ers, on the other hand, just lost Javon Hargrave. I think Leonard Floyd's gone now, but he might have been gone like a few years ago. And I'm looking at available players for them to take. And I've seen Walter Nolen just continue to climb up people's like, what they think he's going to be awesome. I could see them take like a Will Campbell and Membou if he drops to 11. But I'm pretty confident that they go ahead and draft Walter Nolen with the 11th pick. Now we get to the 12th pick with the Dallas Cowboys, my arch nemesis. But shout out the Cowboys, man. One day they'll be good and I'll have to deal with it, but it's okay. Go Birds at the end of the day. right here. We all thought Jeanty might fall 12. I doubt he falls at 12. Could the Cowboys trade up to get one of those top 10 guys? Of course they could, but have we really seen them do a whole lot in the draft and free agency in the offseason? No, they did just sign Javonte Williams, and who else did they sign? They have another running back, Miles Sanders. So I don't think they're in the market for a running back. I think Miles Sanders, Javonte Williams should be a good 1-2 punch, but we'll see. I think they go wide receiver and they take a brother out of Texas in Matthew Golden as the number 2 wide receiver off the board. Insane speed. I think he's got all the intangibles to be a good receiver in this league. Pair him up with CeeDee Lamb and some things might happen this season if Dak Prescott is healthy. There's been a lot of rumors that Jalen Ramsey's going to be gone from the Dolphins. They just lost Javon Holland, one of their safeties. So if they lose a corner, it's almost like they need a corner. Now I'm thinking they're going to need one of the best slot corners in this draft, and that's Jahdae Barron. That's going to be back-to-back Texas players taken. I think Jahdae Barron falls to the Dolphins, and I think this is a great pick. He's arguably the best corner in the draft, even though there's Travis Hunter. There's some dogs in there, but he's pretty elite, so I think they take him right there. The Indianapolis Colts have an interesting pick right here. They got Mo Alley Cox, Kyle Granson at tight end. They could take offensive linemen. I think Quentin Nelson just said he's going to retire. I could be wrong, but I think he did. Linebackers, I think Zaire Franklin's still there. Safeties, I think Kenny Moore is more of a corner. So I can see them going a lot of different directions right here. But I do think they take a weapon for that brother Anthony Richardson, and I think they take Tyler Warren out of Penn State at the number 14 overall pick. The Atlanta Falcons need offense, they need defense, they need a lot of things. And I'm going to take a shot in the dark right here. Haven't seen too many mock drafts with him going this high, but I think the Falcons might just mess around and take Luther Burden to add to that receiving core with Drake London already. I don't know if they still have Raymond McLeod. I'm pretty sure they'll have Darnell Mooney. And adding Luther Burden gives Michael Penix an insane receiving core that I could see him really work with, like he had at Washington, because he had Jalen McMillan, he had a Dunze, and then he had Jalen Polk. Like, those are 3 NFL caliber wide receivers. They're in the NFL now. And I think that pairing Penix with those good weapons, and then Bijan, and hopefully Kyle Pitts can finally be the Kyle Pitts that we thought he was going to be. I think that's going to be an insane pickup for them. The Cardinals are in an interesting spot right here. Just me looking at the names that are left in this class, I can see one of these, like 19 to 12 range picks really trade back to still get the guy that they want. But the Cardinals, I'm going to play it safe, and I think they take Mike Green right here. I could be wrong. Obviously, I could be wrong. I'd probably go like 3 for 32 on these picks because I'm not doing trades, but I think they're going to take Mike Green. And then we're going to get to the Bengals. This is a very interesting pick. They do need an offensive lineman, but they really need defense because their defense was atrocious last year. And me personally, I think the best available player for them is probably Jihaad Campbell, but I think the Bucs really want Jihaad Campbell, so I could really see the Bucs trading up to get Jihaad Campbell. But in my mock draft, Jihaad Campbell, you are a Cincinnati Bengal. The Seattle Seahawks need O-line. I think this is an easy one. They might take best available, but I don't know. They could take Josh Simmons, but I think they take old buddy out of North Dakota State's Grey Zabel with their number 18 overall pick in this draft. And then we get to the Bucs. I feel like everybody knows what the Broncos are going to take, but we get to the Bucs. Can take a lot of things, DB, whatever. I don't really know. Honestly, I'm just going best available with Donovan Ezeiruaku, if I said that right. But yeah, shout out Donovan. He's going to be getting that draft. And right here, I think this is one of the locks of the day. I could be wrong. A lot of us could be wrong. They could end up taking a wide receiver, but I think Omarion Hampton is headed to the Denver Broncos because they just lost Javonte Williams. So they're going to have to draft a running back, and Omarion Hampton is a very good running back. So I think he goes at number 20. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, they need a QB. They have Mason Rudolph as their starter right now. They lost Najee Harris. They just re-signed Jalen Warren. Could they take a running back here? I don't think so. Everybody's saying Jackson Dart this, Jackson Dart that. But you want to know who they're taking? Let a naysayer know. Jalen freaking Milroe is going to be headed to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's probably the craziest pick that I have for y'all today. But I appreciate y'all for staying tuned for Shody. The Los Angeles Chargers are on the clock. You know Jim Harbaugh, he likes his Michigan boys. Looking at the best availables, a lot of Michigan boys available, and they need 2 of those. They could even take Will Johnson just because they're going to lose Asante Samuel Jr. But I think Colston Loveland is almost a lock to go to the Chargers, unless they trade up to get Tyler Warren, which would be kind of crazy. But I think they go tight end right here. Colston Loveland to the Chargers, pair him up with with Justin Herbert, and see what that boys can do. Packers are on the clock. I think if Tet, Luther Burden, Matthew Golden, Nabuka, one of those receivers falls to them at 23, they would be very inclined to take him. But if I'm looking at the available and I see Will Johnson, who I think is a top 10 prospect, I feel like I've said top 10 prospect about 18 players. But it is what it is. It's my video, so you just got to deal with it, gang. But yeah, if I see Will Johnson available, especially with Jair, looking like I think his contract's coming to an end soon. They might trade him in this offseason. Who knows? I think taking Will Johnson and letting him develop will be very good, so he doesn't have to even leave Green Bay during the draft. But I think Will Johnson is headed to the Green Bay Packers. In all the mock drafts I've seen, that Grey Zabel guy is who the Vikings really want. And then they say if he doesn't go there, they're going to trade back. And like I said, we're not doing trades. So I'm going to take someone off the D-line. Another Michigan boy. We're going 3 straight Michigan boys with Kenneth Grant going number 24. Call me crazy, but Michigan's going to have a lot of draft picks in this first round. The Texans just traded away Laramie Tunsil, one of the best tackles in the NFL. And I think it's pretty obvious that they're going to take the best available tackle, whether it's Josh Simmons or Kelvin Banks Jr. But me personally, I think they go Kelvin Banks Jr. with the 25th overall pick. I feel like we could also see them potentially take Abuka, pair him back up with CJ Stroud. But I think O-line is more of a need because they did sign Christian Kirk. They'll still have Nico Collins. Tank Dell will come back eventually, but maybe like a John Mechie will finally come into his own. The Los Angeles Rams are a few things away from really being a top team in the NFL. They took my Eagles to the brink in the divisional round. And right here, they can go in a lot of different ways. But, Matthew Stafford doesn't have that much time left, so might as well max him out and go ahead and take a tight end from LSU, Mason Taylor. I'm pretty sure he's Jason Taylor's son. Y'all remember Jason Taylor? And then that means his auntie is Joy Taylor. Interesting. But that's really besides the point because I think the Rams go ahead and take the tight end out of LSU. Me personally will be surprised if this guy falls, but this is a perfect opportunity for the Ravens to bolster that offensive line, and that is Tyler Booker out of Alabama guard, going to the Baltimore Ravens to block for Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Imagine that being your first team as an offensive lineman. That would be crazy. This is when the Lions make a big splash in the draft. One of my favorite players in this draft, Shamar Stewart. I think he's going to go there to the Lions and go on that line and really help out Aiden Hutchinson on both edges. I think that will be an insane tandem. And offensive linemen should be scared of that duo. The Commanders are on the clock. One of the craziest teams that we saw last season. They need a corner. They need a lot of things. I don't really think they need an RB, according to a PFF, what they need. I think they take best available and go ahead and draft Malaki Starks before the Philadelphia Eagles can even get him. This would be an insane pickup for them. Like, absolutely insane pickup because Malaki Starks is, like I said, top 10 type of player. The Bills have the 30th pick, and I think they go best available corner at the time. Maybe they trade up for Will Johnson and get him before the Packers can get him. I really like Benjamin Morrison. Like, I played NCAA and I was cooking with Notre Dame. Him and Xavier Watts in the secondary was insane. But the Trey Amos boy out of Ole Miss is tough, and I think Amos will be a Buffalo Bill by the end of the draft. The Kansas City Chiefs need to bolster their offensive line, and why not take Josh Simmons out of Ohio State, a national champion, headed to, the dynasty that we're currently living and watching every freaking day. There are a lot of names that could take. James Pearce Jr., Nick Gordon's very good. I forget who I'm thinking of that could also go there. But I think Josh Simmons falls down, and the Chiefs will get him. And with the final pick of this mock draft and last pick of the first round, it is the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, we love the Eagles over here on this channel. If you guys don't like the Eagles, it's fine. We can still talk football. We can talk basketball, baseball. We talk any sport. But you know, when it comes to the Eagles, that's my dog for real. And right here, there's a lot of people we could take, bro. I'm not mad if we took Ibuka, bro. Like, I could really see us taking Emeka Ibuka. I could see it. But I feel like we lost too many pieces defensively that we can, you know, fill with our new players. Jordan Davis is going to have a big opportunity next year to play well. We already know what we're going to get from Jalen Carter. Ajoromo, however you say his name's going to be good. Jalix Hunt we still got. I think we go Ed Rusher. We see Nick Gordon still available. But really, bro, if James Pearce is still available, give me James freaking Pearce, man. Give me James Pearce as my last overall pick. Oh, they're about to grade my draft? What is my draft grade going to be? What is it? How do I see it? I've never done one of these before, chat. What is it, chat? I don't know. What's my grade? But here is a final look at my draft. I'm not going to say out everybody's freaking name, but I'm going to scroll through it so y'all can see how we're looking, chat. But I think it's a pretty good draft. I think almost every team would be happy. I want y'all to go ahead and comment what your favorite team is and who you want your favorite team to draft, because I'm excited to know, bro. Like, I'm trying to figure out my community and see who everybody's favorite team is and whatnot, so I could communicate with y'all and stuff, because, like, we homies and stuff now, man. Like, we really gay. Like, we really locked in, type shit. But with that being said, bro, I did put the 2025 draft class into Madden, so make sure you guys go check out that video. But with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.